On this episode of Manly Jobs, we're going to discover what the forest products industry is doing here in the great state of Montana.
We're at Marks Miller Post and Pole, where they turn what most discard into a thriving timber business. Let's check them out.
We hope you enjoy this episode. Stay with us. You're going to learn a ton right here on Manly Jobs.
In Montana, natural resources run deep. None more versatile than timber. From trees to posts and poles, these products are vital to the region's way of life. But many of our forests are sick, overcrowded, and at risk for catastrophic wildfire. A viable solution is thinning those forests and using the small diameter material, often discarded, at places like Marks Miller Post and Pole. Let's meet Marvin and learn how this facility turns forest restoration into rural opportunity.
Hey, my name is Marvin Allison. I'm with Marks Miller Post and Pole in Clancy, Montana. I've been here for going on 42 years.
Marvin and his boss Gary have spent a lifetime in this industry, building skill, trust, and a reputation for quality. Alongside Gary is his wife Debbie, who's co-owned and operated this facility for over 50 years. Together, they've created more than a business. They've built a legacy. Posts, poles, firewood, and more are sold here. And it all starts by weighing in on these scales.
Here we are, we're across the scales and we're looking out over here to the log yard where the logs are brought in. And right here we have two processors operating, cutting up the material to certain lengths depending on the diameter. Most of the stuff is post and poles, like 6.5, 7 or 8 foot posts. And then we cut rails from 10 up to 16.5 foot lengths. We use all different sizes, probably 30 different products come out of what you see out here. Okay, now he's grabbing another piece. The first thing he'll do is he'll cut a block of firewood off to kind of zero out his measuring wheel. So now as it's coming out, he's going to cut, looks to be like an 8 foot post. And now it's going to get smaller as the tree goes down, and he can still cut an 8 footer, but as it gets down, like he found some defect there. He's got to cut that out. And that piece made a 6.5 foot piece at the end.
Going from raw product to finished rails, posts, firewood, and more is a rewarding job for folks here. It takes skill, precision, and pride. Now let's step inside the facility and see firsthand how it all comes together.
Here we are in our manufacturing building. This is where the product from across the road that you've seen guys processing comes to be made into a post or a rail or a jack leg.
Most of the trees processed here are lodgepole pine, straight, strong, and perfect for posts and poles. Through a series of machines, these raw logs are quickly turned into beautiful finished products. Marvin walks us through this process and explains why proper sizing is important.
The operation is very critical where a post is going through the peeler and sized, and it's very important that the person peeling doesn't take off any more than is needed, because the size of the product is how we sell it, and it's really important not to take too much off so we can sell it for what it is and the size and utilize that piece for as much money as we can.
Gary Marks takes care of his employees. While the work can be tough, he makes sure there's always strong communication and safety at the heart of everything they do.
People got to know certain things throughout the process. We have everybody wearing headphones, so one guy can communicate with the other guy if something is either broken, going down, or he needs to look at something, pay attention to something. That's why you see everybody here wearing your headsets. And as well, they're hearing protection too.
One of the day's highlights was meeting Matt, a local high school student gaining hands-on experience and learning the industry from the ground up.
I graduate this year. I'll be starting senior year, and I work here in the summers. It's a great place to work, and They're great people to work for. They've been amazing for me, giving me the opportunity to work here, and I'm really thankful for that. We work 4/10s, so we get Fridays off, which is nice. And I met Luke and I met the crew, and then, started with the small steps of, learning the sizing of the logs and learning, what goes into that. And then as I became more experienced, I got to move up a little bit. It's been a great experience to learn.
Anybody could do this job. But we want to get some new people in here that want to try to see how this job will fit them. We're looking for anybody who has ambition and a want to be in the wood industry and help the people outside that buy this product.
The forest products industry is full of diverse careers, and this is just one of the many unique roles that it offers. From sawdust and bark at most facilities to wood shavings here at Marks Miller, finding outlets for these byproducts is essential. Because if it can't be sold, it stacks up real fast.
Since Gary's been in business, he's worked on a lot of different outlets to utilize that material. We use somewhere around 20,000 tons of primarily lodgepole pine a year. That's somewhere between 700 and 800 truckloads. And out of that 20,000 tons, we end up making about 5,000 tons of waste, byproduct, these wood chips.
One solution is compressed sawdust logs, but they're still fine-tuning this new approach.
If we just leave these chips here underneath the tent so that we're not adding more moisture to it when it rains, this will average out to about 12% moisture content, just naturally sitting in here. Thankfully in Montana we've got dry weather, and that's possible just to do naturally.
As they fine-tune new possibilities, Marvin explains one proven source already working well.
Okay, some of our byproducts that we have here after all said and done and it's been peeled and whatnot is you get chips at the end of the day. We found out different ways to use a viable product, and one of them is to make colored mulch to use for landscaping around people's yards. And it's been a big request as of the last few years because people like to dress up their yards and do it in a colorful way, so we offer different colors of mulch, and you'll see two of them right here.
To finish the product and extend its life, nearly everything that leaves this facility is pressure treated. The process starts by loading the wood into a large pressure retort, done in batches known as charges. Inside, the wood is infused with preservative under pressure, protecting it from rot, insects, and the elements. A properly dried and preserved post can extend the life of wood tenfold. This helps on wasting valuable resources and also locks in carbon for extended periods of time. Supporting the community, the state, his customers, and everyone who depends on these products, Gary and his team are building more than just jobs. As we leave Clancy, Montana, we're reminded of the vastness of the forest products sector and the hard-working people who keep it moving. We can't wait for the next time we see Gary and company doing their part to better the world one post at a time.